Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Today we are going to be doing lesson 1.9. And our essential question today is, how can you solve problems using the strategy make a model? So make a model, it means like you're going to draw a picture to help you figure it out. So we're going to draw counters today to model our problem above. There are 2 horses in the pen. I'm going to use some of our math counters before to help us see this too. So if you want to get your red and yellow math counters out, we'll need it for today's lesson. So let's first look. It says there are 2 horses in the pen. So I'm going to put 2 horses. The horses leave the pen and go to the field. So they're leaving the pen and going to the field. How many horses are in the pen now? How many are left in there once the 2 horses left? If you said 0, you are right. Go ahead and trace your 0. Round you go, around you go. That's the way to make a 0. And we're going to move on because that is the only part of this first page. So an empty pen, 0 in there. All right, so we're going to use our counters again. 3 children each have 1 backpack on a peg. So there's 3 pegs. So 3 children each have a backpack on the peg. So pretend that these are backpacks hanging from the pegs on the hooks or pegs. That's what those are called. We have our counters. How many backpacks are there? We're going to write the number. So how many are there? We have 1, 2, 3. Around the tree, around the tree. That's the way to make a 3. I'm going to show you now. We're going to be doing this a lot once we get into other math lessons. But this is how I draw our counters. So you pick one up with this hand, hold it in this hand, and then you draw your counter underneath. Pick it up, draw it, pick it up, draw it. If you'd like to go back and add more details to make it look like a real backpack, that's awesome. You can do that. The little straps. For number 2, 3 children each take 1 backpack. So we're going to start with our counters. We have our counters to model our, or like to show or to model or explain, those are all different words, our 3 backpacks on the hooks. Just like above, we have starting with our 3 backpacks. 3 children each take a backpack. So one kid takes a backpack, another kid takes their backpack, and the third kid takes their backpack because it says 3 kids take 1 backpack. How many backpacks are there now? So how many backpacks do we have left after the 3 kids took their backpacks? 0. So 0 is going to go on that line. And then we go to our next page, 63. Looks like this. Drew has 1 book. We're going to use our counters again. So Drew has 1 book. Adam has 1 fewer book than Andrew. Oopsies, than Drew, not Andrew. I have a friend named Andrew that I call Drew, so I got that mixed up. So Drew has 1 book. Adam has 1 fewer book than Drew. So I'm going to show you guys here. This is how sometimes I keep track of it. So Drew, I'm going to write D there for Drew has 1 book, and Adam has 1 fewer book than Drew. How many books does Adam have? So if this is Drew's and Adam has one fewer, so we take away 1 to see what that is, how many are left? 0. Adam must not have any books. For our next problem, it says Bradley has no pencils. So I'm going to put a little B here. Bradley, he has no pencils. Matt has one more pencil than Bradley. So Matt has one more pencil than Bradley. So he has one more. How many pencils does Matt have? Well, Bradley has no pencils. Matt has one more. But he also only has one. I know I messed up my words a lot on that page, so bear with me, friends. Sorry about that. All those names I kept flipping around. You need your counters again. I'm going to use the red side because we're using apples in this first question. Vera has 2 apples. Vera has 2 apples. She eats 1 apple. So she eats 1 apple and gives 1 apple to her friend. How many apples does Vera have now? Write the number. So I'll say it again. So Vera had 2 apples. She ate 1 and then gave 1 to a friend. How many are left? There's none left. So we have to write 0. There are 0 apples left. Amy has 3 crayons. Amy has 3 crayons. She gives some away. It does not tell us how many she gives away. It just says some. So we need to use our noggins. We got to really think through this one to figure it out. Amy has 3 crayons. She gives some away. Now she has no crayons. How many crayons did she give away? So if she has 3 crayons and she gave away some and now she has none left, so in order for her to have none left on the page, how many did she have to give away? 3. Around the tree, that's the way she makes the 3. For the practice at home, we're going to use your counters again. I'll read the questions for you. Oliver has 1 juice box. Lucy has 1 fewer juice box than Oliver. How many juice boxes does Lucy have? Write the number. And for number 2, Jessica has no books. Wesley has 2 more books than Jessica. How many books does Wesley have? We have a Wesley in our class. And then you're going to do your last page. Use counters to model this problem. Anytime that our question says that, you can use your counters to show, but then also draw them for me, okay? Because once you take them off the paper, I can't see them. Or if you want to send a picture of you with them on there and drawing them, that's okay too. So use counters to model this problem. Eva has 2 apples in her basket. She eats 1 apple and gives 1 apple to her friend. How many apples does Eva have now? Write the number. And then for these 2, you're just going to count how many objects and write it on the line. So how many blocks, how many squirrels. And then that's it for today. Good job, friends.